is, of course, Thursday, and that means it's time for another Throwback Thursday. Joining me today is Lori Kent with the Local Loop podcast. Good morning,
Good
Lori.
morning, Hannah.
And Happy New Year.
Yeah, you too.
So this is the very first Throwback Thursday of 2025.
That's right.
I just know you got to have something excited lined up for us.
Well, we're starting the year off with a bang. So this is an explosive story that actually unfolded on New Year's Eve in 1936 right here in Sioux Falls. Wow. But it started with a burglary in Sioux City. So how does a burglary in Sioux City equal an explosion in Sioux Falls? Well, we can dive into it with the historical marker 1936 Powder House Blast. So it's like early December, and there is a plan to do a jewelry heist in Sioux City.
Oh my goodness.
4 criminals get together, including a man named Floyd Parker. And on December 23rd, they carry out this burglary. However, it's not as straightforward as it seems. The owner of the jewelry store actually hired them to burglarize him as in an attempt for an insurance payout. So the police right away are picking up what's happening. And so these burglars, they scatter, they leave the area afraid that they're going to get caught for burglary. And you know, the problem is Floyd Parker is kind of upset about this because he did what they asked him to, and then he just never got any money for it. So he starts hounding the other criminals about getting paid. And so we're never fully going to know the story, but they reassemble here in Sioux Falls on New Year's Eve. Floyd brings his girlfriend, Helen Sealer, with him. And we're, again, not going to know if he was told that he was getting paid or if they told him, oh, let's do a different burglary and get money that way. But they end up at the Larson Powder House, which had gunpowder and dynamite. And that's where another crime happens.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Criminals gonna be criminals.
I know.
So that's when they pounce on him and his girlfriend. They're beaten, they're shot, and they light a fuse. The 3 other criminals light a fuse, get in their car, drive away, because they think they have just exploded all of the evidence of what they've just done. However, Helen Sealer, having been beaten and shot 8 times, like army crawls her way out of the powder house.
Oh my gosh.
And she gets just far enough away that when it explodes at 9:35 p.m. on New Year's Eve, she survives. This blast, it's huge. We're talking about 30 kegs of gunpowder, 3,000 pounds of dynamite, and she lives. Now, this explosion was heard like 60 miles away. Again, huge, ginormous explosion. People from all around town start heading towards the powder house because they know what happened. They know the powder house had to have exploded. They just don't know why. And so this powder house was located on Fred Dolly's farm. And that people get there, they find Helen, they get her to the hospital, she lives, and obviously she can tell her side of the tale. Everybody's going to prison. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's some justice is done here. She actually goes on to like join a carnival and be like a sideshow, the woman with 10 lives. Interesting career path.
Yeah.
But you know, you gotta play the cards that you're dealt, I guess. And so Helen goes on that way in her life, and then there's a historical marker now at Dolly Farm, which is no longer a farm, it's a shopping center.
I was just about to ask you that if there was a correlation there. I figured there was, but I mean, that isn't, and I've never seen where this historical marker is. Exactly where are we looking for that?
It's right by that roundabout that's outside of the movie theater, and it tells you all the details about both of the crimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is insane. Definitely.
It's a wacky one.
I was going to say, it definitely, when you brought up going out with a bang, I mean, obviously, I don't think fireworks could do justice to a powder house completely exploding.
Yeah.
But I mean, wow, that is definitely one landmark you should go check out this year.
Absolutely.
Definitely, because that is just insane.
It is some interesting history for sure.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you, Lori, so much for joining us and telling us that fun little bit of history for our first Throwback Thursday of the year. We're going to go ahead and take a break, but we'll have some more trending stories when we come back.